Hello and welcome back to round 2 of Friday Night Standard. I'm your host, Justin Blackburn. I'm your only host as well. I'm back here alone. We could not find anyone to join me, so I'm back here alone. Got Austin Fridley on Blue-Red Thousand Year Storm / Wizards. They're kind of the same deck here. And Chris on Boros Goblins. I'm expecting him to play some Boros cards. He's going to get some Goblins. They're going to be a little large. I don't know who's going to win. I really have not seen either of the decks. I helped Austin playtest this deck, but I playtested with an old version of the mono green that played the cat that lets creatures not be countered, and I just wrecked Austin. So I don't know how this matchup is going to go. I don't know what kind of cards Chris is playing, honestly. I mean, I would imagine he's playing Boros Lands, probably playing some good creatures. Skirk Prospector is a great card, actually, and it immediately got shocked. Like, float the mana. Runaway Steamkin is a pretty alright card here. I like it. It's a 2-mana 1/1. Whenever you cast a red spell, put a counter on it. It's if you have 3 or less counters, I believe. And then you can remove those counters to add 3 red mana to your mana pool. So it kind of lets you storm a little bit. It adds that extra mana that you've used that turn. So it can get like a 4/4 pretty easily. Like turn 3, turn 4, 4/4. It's not too bad for 2 mana. And with a reducer, it's extra good because you get the extra mana to play your cards. Lightning Strike becomes Lightning Bolt. And Chris is just taking damage now. And Austin can freely just completely Lightning Bolt whatever Chris plays. So Austin is in a pretty good position right now.
2/2? 2/2 currently. And he keeps those lovely tokens, doesn't he? He does. I wonder...
He's playing Lamberturn.
Justice.
Looks like he's going to play War Boss, or trying to play War Boss, but it's going to get shocked if he does. Okay, he's just playing the enchantment, because Austin has 1 mana up to remove whatever creature he plays. So Austin's just going to not do anything, because he can't do anything, and that enchantment is going to name Goblins almost 100%. And now we're smacking in face, because damage. And before damage, he's going to pump the team. And I think Chris is taking like 10 damage here. So he's going to 15 after the strike resolves. He's taking 4 from Steamkin alone, and he's taking 6 from those wizards. So that's 13 damage in 1 turn. Chris is... Oh, okay. I thought he was about to concede, and I was like, wow. That's really good. Austin is very happy right now. Our streamer is letting us know that he's got a big smile on his face. And this is exactly what Austin told me he wanted to do tonight. So our streamer is letting us know that he has the look that he just went off right now. So like comboed off. And Austin pretty much did. That's exactly what he wanted to do today. He let me know that right before he came here. And that smile just went off his face as soon as we switched to dual cam. But he's happy right now. He was happy with that game. Chris does not look as happy. I think Chris is just trying to think what he could do right there. I don't know what Chris has in his sideboard for that. That was a really quick game. That was actually 4 minutes, including all the shuffling. Hopefully, yeah, Chris will probably bring in Deafening Clarion if he wasn't already main decking it. I would imagine he has Chain Whirler main deck, so that isn't like considered. I would not bring in those walkers. I don't like walkers in a matchup with Burn. He is bringing... I do agree with Fight with Fire. No. Shocks are fine. They don't love me. Looks like Chris is just kind of adding removal because his deck didn't play removal. Oh, okay. The Planeswalkers were coming out. Or not, were the cards he was not bringing in. I switched what he was doing there. Looks like he brought in removal and Experimental Frenzy. I agree with that. That card's good. I would trim a Siege Again Commander here. That card's really good, but it is also a good amount of mana. And Austin killed him on turn 4, so I mean,
That's
like,
gonna play, correct?
I would be okay trimming a Siege Gang Commander to hopefully be able to hit the other ones later on. Because if you died that quick again, you're not going to be able to cast it at all, and then it'll just be a dead card. I would trim the enchantment as well. I don't like enchantments against a burn deck. Enchantments are fine against a control deck that won't kill the things, but
A lot of cards are bringing against me. I don't appreciate that.
sorry, I lost my train of thought. That's been happening a lot. I think I'm just
Handle that situation.
I think I'm dying actually, but I don't know. I was talking and then I just lost my train of thought. I think I was saying something like Chris just wants to have creatures that do something right away. His enchantment doesn't do anything when the turn it comes into play besides pumping a creature that may or may not be there. Austin may also just kill it immediately. Austin is taking a Snapchat here. I don't know what he just said, but it was a selfie. Okay, Cat Navis is letting us know that I'm not dying, so that's good. I hope you're a doctor. I may have to see one, but that's my favorite word actually. Is Austin doesn't have any threats, but he also has 2 ionizes, so
Proceed.
I don't know. Yeah, he kept that hand. What was on round 1? Round 1, we had Boros aggro versus Blue-Black Control. Blue-Black Control took that game pretty harshly. Ritual of Soot sweeped out him so hard. That card is insane. I would recommend buying yours now. I don't think that card is going to stay as low as it is. That card's a powerhouse. It removed every creature in play, and Jake, who's playing the Blue-Black deck, kept all of his creatures and then attacked for 14. It was really good. That card is insane. Highly would recommend playing that card if you're not playing it already. Austin, is gonna Wizards Lightning that most likely. Hopefully he does. He can't represent a counterspell because he doesn't have blue mana untapped. And just hopefully he Wizards Lightnings before combat so Chris doesn't get that trigger and get a Goblin. The Goblins, for those of you that don't know, go meh and attack. I'd like to see some Jeskai Control or Green-Black deck. I have not seen a Green-Black deck here tonight or a Jeskai deck. I have not looked at the decks, though. I do like your username, though. Siege Rhino Master. That's sweet. I love me some Siege Rhino. Although I've only cast the card like twice. I just like the card. Frankly, it's a good card. I would imagine there's some green-black here. I have heard that Assassin's Trophy is horrible for multiple people right now, in Standard anyway. They said their opponent cast it, and they just won because their opponent cast Assassin's Trophy. So I heard it's not doing so great in Standard. I'm sure it'll do fine in Modern. I think there's also the opponents may not be resolving Assassin's Trophy correctly. You do not fire that card off within the first 5 turns unless you're about to die, because it will ramp your opponent to kill you immediately. So that a tip out for all of you players. Assassin's Trophy is not a card you play early, ever. Abrupt Decay was played early because it removed early plays and did not benefit your opponent in any way. Assassin's Trophy gives them a land, which they can use immedately to play another threat. Austin here is playing a Ral, I think is it Viceroy? He looks at the top 2 cards. One goes into your hand, one goes into the graveyard. His minus is deals damage equal to the number of instant or sorceries in your graveyard. Yeah, here we go. He's coming up on the screen. His plus is look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand, the other into the graveyard. His minus, he comes on at 5. His minus 3 is deals damage equal to target creature equal to the number of instant or sorcery cards you own in your graveyard and in exile. So if you have jump-started some cards, they count towards that. His ult isn't going to happen very often, but it is very powerful. So -8, you get an emblem with whenever you cast a spell, draw 4 cards, deal 4 damage to a target, which is very game-ending, but is also very hard to get because Rao comes in at 5. He only pluses 1. He does protect himself, okay, but the minus says if you minus him, he's not going to get to 8 because he goes to 2 after you minus him, and it just takes 6 turns to do that, and I would imagine your opponent would attack it by then.
Yeah.
Here we see one of the new... Okay, Chris realized he could not play the card he was about to play. It is Experimental Frenzy, which is a very, very powerful card in a red deck. It says you can't cast cards in your hand, but, however, you can play cards from the top of your library as if they were, or just, you can cast the top card of your library, or play it. You can play the land if there's a land there. And it churns through your deck very quickly. I've seen some crazy things with that card. I've seen 5 cards in a turn easily with that card. I've heard stories of more, and this is new standard. Like, this is the first day that the cards you can purchase. So people have been doing this stuff already with just pre-release and proxies and stuff. All right, so we are going to see a risk factor, which I know is Austin's favorite card from the new set, and I'm sure it's many other people's. For those of you who know, it is very similar to the card Browbeat. Did he do a little takesies backsies, or did he? He resolved it. No, he didn't. I'm confused what happened there. Did we do a little takesies backsies? Okay. Apparently we did a little takesies backsies. That's fine. Chris did a little takesies backsies because he realized he couldn't actually cast the spell. Austin did a little bit because I'm not sure why, but I think he just thought a better card was to do that. Now he can cast it twice for 1 red mana, which is pretty good. I would imagine Chris is going to take 4, though, because Chris is no imminent threat. All right, Chris did make the mistake of playing a land here, though. In case a land is on top.
It's pretty good for you, though.
Risk, yes. So someone in the chat points out that Browbeat was a search speed. Risk factor is an instant speed. Risk factor says an opponent may have risk factor deal 4 damage to them. Otherwise, you draw 3 cards. And then it has Jumpstart. It is a 3 mana, I believe, instant for 2 in a red, maybe 3 in a red. I can't remember the CMC of the card, but you can Jumpstart it right away. So, it does, yeah, okay, it does 4 damage. Browbeat does 5, but it doesn't have Jumpstart. So there's the main differences. Chris took 4. I would agree to take 4. Chris is in no real danger here. I mean, Chris is at 8. The risk factors are going to become more deadly. Chris now cannot confidently activate it. So Chris draws a dead card. He cannot cast the card he draws or play the card he draws. So we have to remember that. So Chris can look at it. Doesn't matter because he can't use it. And then Experimental Frenzy is the card for cards here. He gets to play the card, and then play the card, and then play the card, and hopefully he doesn't hit multiple lands so he can keep on turning. And the card is very good. I have seen it a lot in sideboards for decks that have not come out until today, and people are playing the crap out of this card, just frankly. So it's pretty good. It's quite a fine card. Not good in multiples, though. Any green-white tokens? Question in chat. I do not know. I have not seen what players are playing. The only decks I know are people I've talked to before this. And 2 of the 3 people were playing Boros, and we had him on round 1. And then the other person was Austin, which we have on right now. So I don't actually know. Okay. I'm being told that we do not have that deck. So interesting. We don't know. We don't check decks prior to this. This is a standard FNM. There's no deck registration or anything like that. We just put players on that are willing to play on, and we go from there. So, all right, Chris is. I don't think he's still at 8 here. I think he took 4, maybe more because Ionize. Oh, okay, that was still Chris's turn. All right, so Chris is just getting striked here. and attacked.
Yep. Yep.
Go to 1.
He's trade because it's 2-2, right?
Huh?
He's trade.
That doesn't die. Oh, it does. Okay, the Lord. Colors is the Angels deck. The Angels deck is almost always Boros. Apparently there's an Abzan list. I have not seen it yet, so I could not tell you anything about it. The red-white list is pretty strong, though. I have seen that card or that deck go insane.
Yeah.
Why did he draw it? Want me to link it? Yeah, go ahead. We'll check it out. I'll check it out in between rounds and give you my opinion next round. That concludes round 2. Maybe we can see if we get a second round on. That was pretty quick. But Austin takes that game 2-0. Chris's Boros Goblins deck was just not fast enough to stop all the pressure from Austin's deck. Austin just has a good amount of burn to slow Chris down and just kill him. Risk factor is great. It just says draw 3 cards at a certain point in the game when your opponent can actually take the damage from it. And that's my opinion on those decks. I would have liked to see a little more from Chris's deck. I know that we didn't get the opportunity because Austin had a lot of pressure on him, but I would like to check out that deck and hopefully see a little cooler showing of it. There we see internet sensation Michael Farrell walking around, walk by in the background. All right, cool. We got the list pulled up. All right, so it has 4 Thorn Lieutenant, 3 Knight of Autumns, 4 Resplendent Angels, 2 Shalai, 1 Territorial Source, 1 Doom Whisperer, 2 Lyra, 1 Karn, 1 Vraska, 1 Vraska Relics, 1 of each Vraska of the Golgari Queen and Relic Seeker, both very fine cards. 4 Assassin's Trophy, 1 Settle the Wreckage, 4 Vraska's Contempt, which is great, 1 Argos Bloodfast, which is just drawing extra cards, a Seal Away, and Aldous Reborn, and the rest are 26 lands. Of course, all the Abzan lands. In the sideboard, we've got your typical cards that you would expect: 3 Duress, 1 Argos, 3 Golden Mize, 1 Ritual of Soot, 1 Settle the Wreckage, 1 Lyra, 2 Aldous Reborn, 2 Carnage Tyrants, and another Vraska. I like this list. It seems fine. It's very expensive, coming in at over $500, which is a good amount of money for a standard deck. It looks good. I very much like this deck. I would play more Reign of Sits in the main, or Ritual of Sit, sorry. The card is super powerful. It board wipes extremely well. You do have Thorn Lieutenants and Knight of Autumns in the list. That's 7 3 or less drops, which get hit. I would play 2 Ritual Sits still because the card is just so good. You trade with your creatures, you kill the larger creatures because those creatures become very large. Thorn Lieutenant can become a 6 or 7. I don't know. I like Seal Away still. I don't really know. I would have to play this deck to see what other things it needs. But I like what it's starting at. Love Shalai, love Lyra, love Angels. I mean, they're really good in standard right now. They're popular for a reason because they're just so powerful. Good evening, Mr. MR8. MR8. I like the Angels. They're just really good. Aurelia's great, which she is not an Abzan. She's not playable in those colors, but she's still really good. Most of the Angels in this format are great. Sarah Angel is even good in draft and stuff. Like, I love me some Sarah Angel. We'll play that card when I can. I don't think it's good enough for standard, but it's still a great card. Like, it's still respectable. You have to respect the 4/4 flyer like that. And that's kind of what I hope the Angels deck is. I think it's just kind of like a flyy big dudes deck that cleans up well. And that's my opinion on it. I really like that deck. I would love to get my hands on it if I could afford that deck. But it looks sweet. I have the Temple Gardens for that deck. That's pretty much what I have for that list. So acquiring it would not be super easy, but looks fine. Assassin's Trophy, I think you could trim up one of those. I'm not sure yet. I haven't worked with the card, but I've heard it's very underwhelming in terms of usage and power, because everyone that's cast it so far that I know of has lost the game in Standard anyway. I know in Modern it's a very different story, but I don't know how to feel about the card yet. That's the pieces. Shalai, yeah, I have a Shalai. and none of the rest. Shalai is good. Shalai is a very good card. She gives you hexproof, all your other creatures hexproof, so your angels cannot be crushing canopied, flying removal, just large creature removal, etc. It doesn't die easy. Trophy is hard to evaluate. I agree with that. Trophy is hard to evaluate. It depends on the player. It depends on the deck. And frankly, sometimes you just get poor timing in when you use it. Like sometimes you're about to die, so you have to use it, and you ramp your opponent into a haste and kill you creature. It's too early to say if it's actually good or not. I've heard it's not as good, but I haven't seen any pros playing with it yet. Standard is very new, so it's hard to assess any cards so far. Yeah, it's bad if your opponent's playing aggro. That is the correct statement. That much we do know for sure. After that, I don't know. There's about 30 minutes left in the round. I think we're about to take a break here. Are we gonna get another match? No? Okay. All right. Our stream runner is letting us know no. And 2 tables are in game. Right? The 2 tables left are in game. So this round may actually end soon. So the hidden mode on Assassin's Trophy is not that. Yeah, we had 9 players play, so we actually only have like 5 tables. You can't target your own creatures. It says opponent's permanent. Yeah, your opponent has to control it, so you can't actually ramp yourself. It is not like Path to Exile where you can ramp your own creature to cast your next spell. You have to hit the opponent's stuff, which is, I think, kind of what makes the card a little fair. I still think the card's a little overpowered, but I think it makes it fair enough to not be immediately banned. But I think that concludes round 2. We will see you in probably less than 30 minutes, maybe 20. I've been Justin Blackburn.